Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Aurorian Age. I am Deuce, and I will be joined by Chrysamere,
Hello.
with August,
Hi, everybody.
and new to our cast, Profesie.
Hello.
So, I know you saw our joke and stuff. I know you saw our joke and stuff showing that there was a queue for our podcast because we've been sitting in queue a lot since launch. Chrysamere, how do you think launch went?
Well, the first couple of hours was very rough, but I would say all things considered, considering how few servers we have and how crazy popular this game is, I think it went better than expected. And I think that they just need to work out some growing pains now. But I mean, one thing that I've noticed is that in-game lag hasn't been that bad. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get in, but once you're in, the game works and it functions, and that's more that can be said about some other large-scale MMO launches that I've been a part of.
August, what's the longest you've actually waited in queue?
2.5 hours this afternoon. It was not fun. But I'm in now, and I'm never signing out again.
Trust me, the feeling's
I will
mutual.
never sleep.
People couldn't believe I was logging out for this cast. They're like, "You logged out?" I said, "I'm going to bed after the cast." So, yeah, I logged out. So somebody else can take my place in the game. Profesie, tell me the difference between early release launch and live launch, in your opinion.
Queue times of 2+ hours. No, but early release I thought went really well. Everyone getting into the game actually didn't seem too bad. The first, I'd say 20 minutes was pretty bad, but I was surprised the servers stayed up with everyone bombarding them on early release. And then obviously Tuesday morning with actual launch going with all the free-to-play, I was shocked to see everything still stay up. I think they need more servers, but all in all, I'm really impressed that Tryon kept their servers up and their databases going through the whole launch.
We did have that little DDoS issue.
Yeah, that, and then there's that. Sorry, let me turn my phone off.
You know, it always seems like whenever something launches, people try to ruin the launch and stuff. And I think they actually did it pretty good. We only launched, 15 minutes late on early release?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
about
about right.
that 10 or 15 minutes.
And
Yeah.
then, go ahead, Chris.
The only thing that was really messed up about early release is that even though they have apparently fixed this now, they didn't implement a fix for letting people skip queues if they crashed. So we were having multiple crashes, and we had people that had already waited 20, 30 minutes to get in, and then they crashed, which it is a pretty unstable client, all things considered. So to not have that in at launch, people were really ticked off that they'd get in, they'd start doing something, they'd crash, and then they'd be all the way in the back of the queue.
Hey guys, I need work is calling me. Give me two minutes. Sorry about that.
Live TV.
Live TV, you gotta love it. So, August, overall thoughts from launch?
You know what? The land rush was a hell of a lot more than I expected it would be. And then it had suggested that it would be through the Omega or the beta launch. But we managed to get our land and secure some spots. But everybody from now on is kind of not so lucky.
Yeah, speaking of land, have you even seen any open land in the last couple of days?
No.
None.
Yeah, I mean, we've been out searching and stuff because the live people could actually get patronage today. They made it so they could get patronage if they weren't a founder, and there's still no place to put land right now. So it was like, yeah, good try, but now you get to wait because either people are going to quit, or they're not going to pay their taxes, or they're going to change servers or something. But right now, there is no real land to speak of. Outside of the, the fix that lets you skip queue if you get kicked, what was some other things you noticed that when we went from open beta to live, the changes?
Well, there was the last minute Arceum change, the day one patch, and I don't think we had a chance to really see the difference between open beta and now, but what I can tell now is that at least lower level Arceum, like Moats and Dust, it is flowing.
Yeah.
So the economy has got a lot more Arceum in it than it used to have, and as a result, we got better weapons. We're stronger, and it's probably a bit too early to tell if it's completely fixed. It'll kind of depend on once the North Continent opens and we see how Arceum trees do. But for now, it's pretty good. My weaponry is way higher than I thought it would be at this point in the game, and people seem to be really happy with their weapons. Nobody's really struggling.
Yeah, I had a huge plan to make an Arceum farm up north as soon as they opened up, and now I'm not sure I'm going to even need it.
I'm really am interested because they implemented the change on the Thunderstruck. Speaking of Thunderstruck, Chris, didn't you get a Thunderstruck already?
Yep, I got one on day one. I had a good feeling. I put down my 4 little cedar trees on my 8x8 farm, and sure enough, the next day, there it was.
But what's the difference in Thunderstruck now from previous?
So the way that it works now is that when you actually loot it, you still get the same old Thunderstruck tree that you used to get, except now if you right-click the tree, it breaks down into 4 logs. And they changed all of the items that used Thunderstruck trees before to take, some of these logs. So it essentially quadrupled the amount of Thunderstruck logs into the economy, and we have farm wagons now, and they're awesome.
Yeah. Arthrodon makes a good point too about a change. I got a 100 and something plus healing weapon at a drop.
It seemed like there was very few healing weapons in beta, and they really worked hard to get that to make healing viable. Since they switched to, you have to have a healing weapon to be a viable healer now.
Yeah.
Speaking about the Arceum, I actually have got some shards, but it's still a mixture of shards. Mixture of dust and shards in the highest bags that come out. So somebody said they did get a crystal from a bag. So I don't know how they differentiate. One of the things I did notice, though, the mobs that used to drop the crystals before, the named mobs, now just automatically drop a bag, but you don't necessarily get anything out of it, except for the silver. And we have Dash.
Hi, Dash.
Your name is Profesie. Yeah. So, Dash, since you're here, what was your experience with Launch? Just Launch in general.
We're talking about what you had for lunch today.
This is a family cast.
No, they
sound Dash.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, they could hear me, but
he had soup for
you
lunch.
Guys can't. Yeah, I had soup for lunch. That's all we talked about. But anyways, early access was what I expected, but I wish the DDoS attack didn't happen, because I pretty much didn't get a whole Saturday that I had off work to play. But that was my experience. But yesterday was fine for me. Once I got in before the big rush, and so as long as you stayed logged in, you were fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was fortunate to sleep through most of the DDoS attack. I woke up for the last 2 hours of it, but
I think Chrysamere can answer Maverick's question real quick.
Maverick's question: what game would you compare the PvP in this game with? You know what? I'm actually unsure. I should probably call Bear
Yeah.
and ask him.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Bear would say that it's a lot like Vanilla WoW, maybe with some like Pirates of the Burning Sea mixed into it. But yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, good.
It's not a cast unless we answer that.
Yep.
Of course not. Oh, and what server are we on?
We are on Silvera server, Shakira.
Shakira
Shakira.
server.
Shakira.
Our hips don't lie.
Yes. Safira server. Wait.
Okay, I have to disappear now because he's back.
Through the magic.
See, it's back. The magic of television.
Being on call sucks. Sorry, guys.
Okay,
Dash stepped in for you where you're
30 seconds or less.
Oh, got it.
Profesie, your experience on launch.
30 seconds. My experience was fantastic. Our land grab, I thought, went fantastic for what we were supposed to be doing. And I got very lucky with getting the Guild of Stars out of my starter pack, so that made my experience much more enjoyable to get the land rush that we were trying for. 30 seconds done.
Yeah, that's one thing. I wasn't expecting all those Guild Stars out of my chest or the box, whatever it was. Started out with like 9 Guild Stars. I was like, I'm going to have my farm right off the bat.
Yeah, actually, I had enough for a house, threw my boxes, bought that random Mirage, got it. But when I went to go to the land I was supposed to grab, it was already taken.
Too slow.
I mean, I did make it to Friedrich Island at level 3, but I was too slow after all.
Yeah, that one was a tough one. I think you had to get into the server right away to even have a shot at Friedrich Island. So anybody that got stuck in queue or crashed or died swimming there or anything like that, just wasn't going to happen.
Well, I think Friedrich was occupied within the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
Somebody on our server even had the name Friedrich, like that was the character they created. It was called Friedrich. And
Wonder what the swim out there looked like. Just a bunch of marathon people trying to swim for the Friedrich Island.
I was going for it.
Probably. I was the first one to get to our island.
Yeah.
Our island.
It's my island.
It's mine.
We visited the island last night.
Yes, we did, didn't we?
Yeah, it was awesome.
I heard they didn't enjoy it, Chris. What happened?
Well, things happen.
Stuff.
So, August, what do you think the advantage is of being in a large guild?
You got just so many different opportunities to pull from, all your different guildies and stuff. So if you need anything, it's there. If somebody's ganking you, there's people less than a minute away that'll come help you, and it's just there's the benefits are really endless. I everywhere I go, I see 4 or 5 grievance members. I mean, it's awesome.
Do you think there's advantage of being in a large guild over a smaller guild?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Especially with the mechanics of this game, it's just so hard to do everything by yourself. So like I'm specializing in leatherworking, so I can make my own leather armor. But when it comes time to make my weapons and stuff, I gotta ask Chris for help, because there's no way I'm gonna be able to get my my weaponsmithing up all the way as well by the time I'm 50, because I'm gonna be there very shortly. So
yeah, you can't do it all, and this game really lends itself to cooperation because it's so ruthless. I mean,
Yeah.
with the way everybody's competing and how bloodthirsty people are, having people that have your back and working together really will take you much further than being by yourself.
Blue Owlet makes a point too. I guess it depends on your guild, because if you have a large guild full of douchebags, then it's not going to be a great experience. But
Yeah.
if you have a great guild like this one, then how can you go wrong?
Okay, I got a question for you, Profesie.
Shoot.
How in a large guild like Grievance do you not become a number?
Organization, tactics, showing people that you are more than just a Zerg guild. Like you can have guilds like, let's say Rising On, who haven't even got a first ship to my knowledge, but they have almost 600 people. You know, it comes back to like what we did with our farms. If you look, everything has a structure from what we plant, what we harvest, who's cutting down trees. You know, everything is organization down to the T. And we're not just, you haven't seen us once in faction chat saying, hey guys, join us if you're Brazilian, or join us just because we're a large number, we want to have the most amount of people. I think like August was saying, it comes back to you could have a large group filled with a bunch of douches, or you could have organization to its core where you're actually surpassing everyone else who even has larger numbers than you.
And for you, Chris, I have the hard question. The solo play. Can you solo play in this game?
Well, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. You can do it, but it is going to be extremely difficult to match the prowess of having a group. I mean, if you have, even if you have all the time in the world, there are simply some things in the game that you cannot do by yourself. Plus, the nature of an MMO game is to be social, to make friends, to adventure and have fun with your friends. And if you're not utilizing that, then what is the point? Go play a single player game with a better story where the NPCs actually speak English or whatever language that you speak.
Sorry. Yeah, you got me on that one.
Just trying not to be boring.
That's good.
Succeeded.
Hey Dash, can you throw up the picture of last night's trade run? We got a couple pictures of what large guild looks like, and I unfortunately wasn't able to go last night. So, August, do you want to talk about the trade run a little bit?
Huge trade run. Huge. It was like 160, 170 people. So many people that we couldn't render them all at the same time. You'd be looking at a boat that was just jam-packed full of people and being like, why is that boat empty? And it's just that people weren't rendering in. And we had lines outside the specialty workbench that were like a full rate. Well, we had three raid lines, so there were 50 people full in 3 lines coming out of the specialty workbench, and people from all over the server were like, Grievance is on a big trade run, get them. We weren't going anywhere where you could get us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in this picture you see, that's more than 1,000 gold standing there from that one trade run. So I mean, where else can you make money faster than in a guild like this? I mean, yeah, you can make 1,000 gold if you caught this big, huge fish and got lucky and turned it in, or got Chris's luck and got us thunderstruck later on when actually money was flowing. Because I don't think you could get the 700 gold you could on Omega for those. But
No,
I mean,
probably not.
as Steele would say if he was here, it's just amazing when you're actually standing in that mass and you're like, these are all our family right here. So
yeah, I stood in the alley in Enza and I watched the entire raid walk by, and it was just a thing of beauty. It took like a solid 5 or 6 minutes. They're walking almost in a single line. It took like 5 or 6 minutes for everybody to walk by. We just filled the entire city.
I couldn't believe how long it took to turn in everything.
Every time we'd pass somebody along the way, they'd stop and be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, people were saying that the guards in Enza were doing a really bad job for letting an entire army into their city.
They let the whole army into the city.
Yeah.
But, I'll tell you, if you are not in Grievance and you're watching this, and you are on our server, and you are read to us, that's the force you get to see on the ocean and in open combat. So,
yeah,
bring it, and we'll have a good old time.
Enjoy our PvP.
Blue Owlet. I was told that they had better things to do than help one. What?
He had a bad experience with his large guild. When he asked for help, they told him basically you're on your own.
Oh, yeah, that's not how we work.
Yeah, no.
I'll tell you. Yeah, I can't even give an example of anything close to that. I mean, if people ask for help, it's not will somebody come help you. It's how many people are gonna answer to come help you.
Well, Deuce, I actually got a story about that. I know the other night Soulgrave
Well,
was
then
getting
chat.
ganked from what he was talking about there. And he came in and said, hey, can I have 2 people level 35 plus come help me? And I think the raid had, correct me if I'm wrong, Soul, but like 35 people to go and get those 2. It was fun.
Oh yeah, it's getting ganked. When a member of Grievance gets ganked, it's a massive PvP fight because we bring the farm. I mean, it's just like X up, let's go.
Yeah, last night me and Dash were mining the Star Shard area, and a clipper full of about 5 of the Fanatic Guild, or some guild anyway, that I didn't say the name of, ganked us. Just straight up ganked us. And Dash jumped in the other channel, asked for help, and like 4 clippers and a galleon showed up. We were like, what?
4 clippers and a galleon. Yeah, because were you mining at the time?
Yeah.
They brought 4 clippers and a galleon, huh?
Yeah. It was a thing of beauty. We almost destroyed their clipper, but it despawned.
Yeah, I wish they would increase the time on that boats stay before they despawn.
Yeah, that would have been a great lesson.
There will be more opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll just.
Oh, yeah.
Chrysamere, you are a warlord. Yes, I didn't butcher your name.
Just spread it out over about.
Just spread it out like Chris.
Gotta say it slowly.
Yeah.
Slowly. Dry eyes. So, what do you think of PvP on the server so far?
PvP on Saphira. Where do I begin? So, first of all, the amount of people in the Eastern faction on Saphira is absolutely ridiculous. And there's a lot of, in my opinion, really nasty guilds. I don't really want to bring attention to any specific one, even though everybody probably already knows. But there are some very large Zerg guilds on Saphira East that follow the streamers. They're not necessarily great at the game, but they have a lot of numbers. So it's challenging because at least in World PvP, we're significantly outnumbered. And then on our side, the western side of Saphira is very interesting because we have a significant Brazilian population. So a large percentage of the western side of our server does not speak English as their main language. And now a lot of them can speak English, but enough of them can't to the point where that even further divides us because, even just out there world PvPing, we've got that divide. So Eastern faction, I think, has it really easy on our server. And it is really up to us in the West to kind of come together and, get together, be proud of the side that we're on and, work together to defeat the enemies that outnumber us. It seems like it's 4-1. That would be my guess.
Well, I actually did Halcyon War today, if you can call it a war. I think within 3 minutes they won.
Oh, jeez.
They brought that many people. I heard somebody say they counted 4 full raids in Halcyon War.
Wow.
This early in the game, and it's just like, really? 4 full raids? And we didn't even go out to attack. We tried to defend our base because we knew we were going to be outnumbered, and they just walked over us, killed the things, and boom, done. Shoot. Chair broke.
That was it.
That wasn't fun.
Oh.
Oh, I've been concentrating on getting my my economic side ready. So now that I've got that all set up, I can work on leveling. And once I get my my levels up, I'll be in the position to come take care of that. Even that out a little bit. My presence will get rid of that 400-to-1 ratio.
Yes, for every 4 Zergy streamers, there's one August to take them all
Yeah.
out.
Roar!
You know what? That's kind of the nature of streamer guilds, is that, you know, to be a successful streamer, you have to play for hours at a time. So it seems like right now, not only does the East outnumber us, but they also outlevel us too. I think the server will balance out once once the majority of players on the server are 50. I think things will be okay, because I've actually seen some guilds on our server that really have their stuff together and are really doing a good job.
True.
Yeah, it seems like you know, once the smoke clears, just like in alpha, just like in beta, as the server matures, things tend to balance out. So I'm not really concerned about the population imbalance right now. Yeah, they're going to get a gear jump on us from Halcyona and stuff through the warrior marks and stuff, but it'll even out.
Yeah.
I think a lot of our server actually decided to do the economic side and get all their proficiency stuff squared away first, because I was hearing for a while that the Eastern continent had farm space open for days after ours was all locked up.
Well, I know that Prestige Worldwide, which is one of our allies on the east side, they actually were placing farms yesterday.
Yeah, see, there's no way.
We couldn't place farms after Saturday.
Yeah.
Comb over. This is a military haircut, thank you. I keep it short. I'm not going bald. I am definitely not steel.
Oh, wow.
Ouch.
Shots fired.
Correct. Better hope he doesn't see this.
Oh, you know he will.
When he's uploading it to YouTube.
Oh, it's good.
But yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not too concerned, because as we mature through the server and stuff, all the bad people will get shoved into the bad guilds, and the server normally turns on those bad guilds. You know, the people that want to be douchebags, for, you know, no better word for it, they'll get theirs. They'll be the onesies and twosies, and they'll bring the name down of a guild, and the guild will say, you got to go. And then we haven't seen any pirates yet. A lot of these people will probably go pirate.
Yeah, I heard yesterday that, I'm not going to say the name of the guild, but like 3 people from one particular guild were already asking about jumping over to our guild because they're having a bad experience with their guild. So,
Yep.
The cream rises to the top.
Not only that, one thing too with the server and with this many people, especially the streamer guilds that we have, is the retention rate on MMOs as a whole after the first 30 or 60 days. You know, the ton fall off, and especially with the streamer guilds, it's not going to be the newest fad in, 30 or 60 days. So they'll be moving on to the next stream.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of makes me wonder, because this is a free-to-play game, that how many people of the free-to-play that are just coming to try it will actually hang out for 30 days, 60 days, and stuff like that.
Well, with the queue times, a lot of the people just come over to try it are bouncing off the queues and being like, screw that, I'm going somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, if I was trying the game and the queue was that high, I wouldn't wait. Not for 5 hours.
Yeah, I mean, literally, at times it's a 5-hour queue, 6-hour queue. I think the highest I've seen is 7.5 hours.
Yeah, I heard said. 7 this morning.
Jeez, that's insane.
I mean, so if you come home after work and you try to log in, you're going to bed before you ever logged into the game.
Yeah.
Unless you have a crazy schedule or something like that. What was the queue today? I got lucky, Oak Moon, today when I got off work, because I get off work early. I only had about a 34-minute queue.
Nice.
So
wow, that's amazing. Wow.
it was about noon Eastern time.
Yeah, I was 2.5 or 2,500 and something, and it took me about 2.5 hours. So
Wow. Yeah, if I had to wait 6, 7 hours on the days I work, I wouldn't be able to play at all. Because by the time I wake up, I only have 3 or 4 hours, so I have to go back to work. So that would completely negate me during the time or during the days I work.
I will tell you this: those who play late night and early morning actually do not have queues. So, I mean, when I got up this morning to go to work about 4 a.m. Eastern time, there was no queue, but we were still high. You know, high pop, not high pop.
Yeah.
we were still high from last night.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome.
And to answer your question, I don't know if you get more labor while you're in queue.
Yeah, I haven't noticed that either. Couldn't.
That'd be
speak to it.
nice.
It would
No,
be.
'cause
Because if
I don't think it does because you're not. No one sees you as logged in.
Yeah.
I wish I was, because I just stay in queue while I was sleeping and get like double
Right?
labor.
Somebody just catch a mouse?
Yeah.
Oh, it was open a shrink. Okay. Carry on.
Okay, let's talk about levels. What's everybody's level sitting at right now through the craziness of live?
I just hit 30 right before the cast.
I am at 39, but I have almost 5,000 labor and a vocation tonic, so
Yeah.
that's going to change quickly.
Yeah, I've been
Oh, yeah.
stocking up on my labor, and I have 3 vocation tonics, and I have 100 or 200 recovery packs getting ready to craft. So I'm gonna go over there and craft recovery packs and hereafter stones and zoom through some levels.
Wow. I am sitting at 39. I'm about 15% from 40, and I've got 3,000 labor.
Now, to Profesie's defense, I actually drug him away from his main tune, and we did the 50 Gildestar run to make some money early. And I'll tell you, that was actually quite fun.
Mhm.
You know, running
Was a
two brand
blast.
new characters all the way through the 50. Well, what we get 58 Gildestars,
Yeah.
59, and you know, at the end there, we're like level 11, fighting 22 plus mobs and stuff. So if you ever want to try it, make sure you have kiting classes. So, but it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
fun.
I think that's the only way to do that.
Yeah, for the 50 Gildestar run, pretty much you want to go sorcery witchcraft. You don't need gear. You can kill everybody with the falling
Need
damage
occultism,
from
too.
the burning bubble. Yeah, I guess your third could be occultism.
Well, we were using occultism so we could kite. We were just shooting manas, running in circles.
Oh, you were sorcery occultism?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I did
actually
a
worked out
solo.
really well.
I did a solo with my outrider, but that's just because I can trip and trip and trip and trip and trip and trip and trip.
Well, I'll
Oh.
tell you, you know, I don't know if we would have done anything where we actually got hit, because the couple times we did get hit, all you
We
see
got-
is loading.
Yeah.
And we did get caught a couple times. Funny thing was, we were streaming, and so we were like racing. We didn't have any mounts. All we had was our glider we got from our founders packs and stuff, and it was fun. If you haven't
Yeah.
tried it, it's a good way. It takes about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half.
Speaking
and
of
just hit
that,
every one.
I'm pretty glider rich. I got like 6 Phoenix gliders in my
So
bag.
do I.
Too bad you can't hand them to other people or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Deuce. You just single-handedly crashed the market on Harpoon Clipper designs.
I did not crash the market. What are they going for now? I saw 65 gold now.
Are they really down to 65? Wow.
That's
Yeah.
coming down.
Wow.
That is, yeah, that's pretty low. I mean, that's, 2 stacks of lumber, or 2 or 3 stacks of lumber, maybe. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But that strategy, that Gildestar running strategy, it's only going to work for a couple more days. Once
Yeah.
people start getting their large farms built and the price of lumber goes way down, then yeah, it's just not. Those plans are not going to be as valuable. And the other The other issue with it is that you can't get thatched farmhouses. Now, normally you'd be able to do that run and get thatched farmhouse designs because, people often spend their Gildastars on 15 Gildastar house and a 50 Gildastar clipper, and then they want to upgrade. But because of the land situation, people are giving their thatched farmhouse designs away because there is just nowhere to put them.
Yeah, the price of lumber went down yesterday, actually. I got some, 20 lumber for, 5 gold, whereas it would have cost me, nearly 30 the day before. So I was surprised to see that, actually.
So the price is coming down.
Terradin, I would hang on to it because eventually people are not going to pay their taxes. People are going to leave the game and the space will open up. I guarantee you in the cycle of the game, 30 to 60 days, we'll be able to place land again. And I'm not talking Northern Continent either.
Horizon, to answer your question about how many stars you can get per day, you can actually get about 17 or 18 if you do all of the daily Gildastar quests and the 2 mentor quests in Burning Castle and Sharpwind Mines for west, and then Palace Cellar and Hadir Farm for east.
Sorry, we're trying to field your questions. The Diamond Shore is mine. And by the way, everybody told their level. I did not make 50. I'm 48 right now. I failed in my task.
You wanted to be 50 before Head Start was over.
Yeah,
so did I.
One thing I didn't realize is how much the Northern Continent actually did hurt me in my plan. I didn't think it would, but yeah, it slowed me down tremendously. I mean, I actually thought right now I'd be working on my 3rd set of 50s.
Would be nice. Yeah, those Anya mines are really good for leveling, especially once all the castles are occupied because nobody really has any reason to go there. So you can just mine and mine and mine and mine and it's crazy experience.
Well, yeah, and just picking the wall is great stone and it's a great moneymaker.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember you went up with me, everybody with Profesie's been up to the wall with me.
I have not been to the wall yet, no.
I spent so
you have
much
to
time
experience
collecting lumber that I just didn't have time to do anything else.
So to answer the question from before, a stack of 100 lumber is 40 gold at the moment on our server, anyway. So that's pretty good money for 100 lumber.
Yeah.
And then you compare that to the Harpoon Clipper design that's down to 63 gold, and the lumber to build the boat is as much as the design. So
Yeah.
if you have lumber, now's the time to sell it.
In regards to the long queue, it really sucks, but I'd rather have long queues than a bunch of unneeded servers that spread us out over so many things, and it would just screw things up in the long run. So I'm willing to wait a little while if it needs to be.
Yeah, me too. I don't want any empty servers. And the thing about this, yes, you're going to get free-to-play players right now that are just going to rage quit because they don't want to deal with 3-hour-long servers, and that's totally understandable. But because the game at its core is free-to-play, they will just keep coming back. So eventually the server will normalize, and we will get just the right amount of the balance between people that are fed up with the queues and people that push through it. So I think it'll be all right. Adding more servers at this point, I just don't think they should do it. It would severely. I would rather have all servers full than have empty servers.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about this game is because it's so, land driven. To open a new server again with a shared auction house taints that server.
Oh, hey, Matachi from Hands of Fate is here. Welcome, Matachi. How's Olo going? Do you have to
That's so
grow?
good.
Do you have to grow your own trees to get lumber? No. You can cut down other people's trees if they're not on a protected farm, or you can find farms out in the wild.
Or an auction house, I suppose. You got the gold.
Also that, yes. You can always buy it too.
Which is expensive.
It ain't cheap.
Sad Hands of Fate isn't on our server.
Any more questions?
Yeah, second day of launch, they need to increase servers and then merge servers in the future. Why let it die instead of grow? It's not going to die. Keeping the servers low will keep the existing servers full. And how exactly do you handle a server migration or a server merging in games that have
Land.
Yeah, exactly. So if you got a really nice spot, like say you're like us and you own an island, who gets the island when a server gets merged? You know, that kind of stuff needs to be addressed. Now, I guess here's what they could hypothetically do. They could create a new server and make it opt-in for server transfers. So they would basically like create a list of people that want to opt in to join a merged server so that it's voluntary. And then you join that server, and since everybody's opted into it, everybody has basically agreed to land rush again. And that is one solution towards it, but it never has to. It doesn't have to get to that point. They should pretty much just leave the servers as it is.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I have to agree with Terradin in chat. I think with the way their server structure is and how the game is, I don't think they will ever be able to merge servers unless it's a brand new starting server, and in that case they just wipe the houses, send everyone there and say rush for the land again.
I think
So,
about the,
I'm not doing that.
you know, probably eventually server transfers will come up.
Mhm.
And with server transfer comes the same issue. You know, the only thing is you can carry anything you can carry on your person, you can take with you, but you can't take your land with you.
No.
Or anything like that. So it comes down to the fact that you have to be willing to give up any lands you have and stuff, because the server you go to, it's going to be full.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, I don't see how they. If you do transfer servers, I think you'll be horribly gimped, unless you're going over there to join a big guild that already has their structures in place.
Right.
Yeah, Chris gets smartest person on the stream award tonight. Well, yeah. Why do you think I'm here?
Oh God.
I found house designs on the auction house. Do people actually spend Guildastars on those? Yes, they do, Oakmoon. And the reason why you're seeing so many of those designs on the auction house is because there's no land. So what people are doing is you buy the 16 by 16 house because it's so easy and quick to get it, and then you use it to reserve 16 by 16 land, and then you uproot it and replace it with a 16 by 16 farm, and you don't got enough space to actually utilize the house, so it's just burning a hole in your pocket. So yeah, I imagine the price of those 16 by 16 houses are dirt cheap.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm gonna check right now because I'm sure it's really, really low.
It would have to be.
But see, the thing is, they can be used again.
They are six gold on the auction house.
Oh my gosh.
I think I'm gonna buy 20 of those.
Right.
Well, the thing is there's still another land grab to come.
Yeah. They're gonna be.
Northern continent.
They are gonna be useful again when the north opens up.
And don't be fooled. When that north opens up, it's going to be a bloodbath first. And as soon as the land is claimed for castles, it's going to be a bloodbath again to get land down and claimed. Especially with how big our server is. Well, how big every server is. It's not just even ours. We're not the most populated server. We're like, what, third?
Yeah, I think something like that.
I don't even know. I don't pay attention to the other servers.
Well, the only way I tell by that is watching the queues.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 servers never come out of queue that I've seen. And one of them's Zolo.
Oh,
The perpetual queue server. Okay, worker compensation potions are my friend. I'll tell you,
you're an addict.
I was actually quite excited when they were going for 4 hour cooldown. But I'll tell you, for a labor potion addict like me, that would have been really broken. Because while everybody else is out leveling their little heinies off, I was out making alts to level 15. Because those alts all drink labor potions. And the way they have the labor potions, yes, it has a 12-hour cooldown, but it's a 12-hour cooldown per character. So every 12 hours, I get 4,000 labor on our server. I have not made my last 2 characters yet because I haven't figured out which 2 servers are linked to our server. So there is no pay to win in this game, Patty. That's why they fixed it. But I enjoyed it for the couple days on open that it was like that. It was funny, actually.
Here's my thoughts on calling labor potions pay to win, okay? That depends entirely on your definition of winning in this game. If your definition of winning in this game is the first to get to level 50, fine. I guess those potions are pay to win. But if your definition of winning is, defeating raid bosses and taking castles and large-scale PvP and stuff like that, then they're not pay to win because labor doesn't really help you with that. I mean, yeah, you could get really technical and say the labor will lead to more gold, which will lead to a better equipment, which will lead to marginal victories in PvP. But the reality is that you can spend as much money as you want on labor potions, and it's really not going to give you that much of an advantage. I really disagree that they're pay to win. I don't even think it comes close. The closest thing to pay to win in this game would be the regrade charms, since those actually, weapon regrading will be a big deal once the servers get more mature. Those are the closest thing to pay to win, and even those only increase your chances. So you can just be throwing your money away if you are unlucky with those.
Yeah.
See, I would actually say that the Apex is the biggest thing pay to win. Because, the Apex, you can actually sell to players in game and get gold. And the gold, you can buy all the armor you want. Now, right now, it's not as crazy as some of the other games, but I think I was seeing them for, 35 gold in Apex today?
I haven't even looked at the Apex.
Wow.
But I'm like, I wouldn't sell them for 35 gold. That isn't even worth it. That's $10 real cash. But I'll tell you, as the game matures and stuff, and when January rolls around, I'll be buying Apex so that I don't have to pay my patronage.
Yeah. But I think it is balanced as far as the whole pay to win thing, because like Chris was saying, that once you're this whole workers' compensation potions, the main point of them right now, or at least for everyone I've met, is leveling and nothing more. And once you hit 50, they become pretty useless unless your point is to just grind out a bunch more materials for something. And in that case, you're still going to need your guild, and you're still going to need other things to make those bigger items, not just, a couple worker compensation potions.
Will the Apex put the gold sellers out of business? Nothing's ever going to put them out of business. No. Will it hopefully slow down chat in a free-to-play game? It won't even do that. They are going to spam away because there's nothing stopping them. They don't have to buy the game. They don't have to do anything. They just create a new account, boom, and start spamming again. I mean, go ahead.
Mitachi said, I'd like to see Tryon offer an incentive to transfer servers to players in order to create some sort of balance between them. For instance, if a server has a lower population, any player that transfers gets some sort of perk, move off a server that has excessive population. All you have to do in terms of incentive is give us our credits back. You say if we agree to move to a new server, our other characters are deleted, and we get new credits. That is an option.
I'd be rich,
Yeah, you would.
but I
Yeah.
wouldn't have Carrot Dash anymore. But I bet you I could get him even sooner now because I know somebody from PWW got one in 6 crates.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I was like, 6? I spent 90 crates to get Carrot Dash.
Good lord, that's so insane.
Yeah, actually, you know what's funny about that is that I was looking at the gliders, and if you, at least on our servers thing, if you look at the gliders, the Feathered Hope glider, like the green one, it is actually cheaper to get a Feathered Hope glider than it is to get the gliders that you just straight up buy on the auction house. Like, do people not realize
Really?
that it is the same thing?
Wow.
Yeah, it's 80 gold.
Wow.
Pretty cool. Somebody should buy me one because I don't have 80 gold.
Neither
But
do
if I did, I would totally pick one of those up. And
It's
of course,
just 'cause you like green.
yeah, I do like green. Green is my favorite color. And somebody in our guild actually got it, and I offered to buy it from them at a time when I did have gold, and they're like, "No, I'm gonna wait for the price to go up." well, that was a mistake because the price went down. Okay, Mitachi, thanks for coming.
Good luck with your stream.
Yep. And if you guys, when our stream is over, if you want to go check out Mitachi's stream, he will be on the Hands of Fate stream. So that'd be a good place to go when we're done.
Prophecy, final thoughts?
Looking for better ways to get to 50 and trying to use my labor effectively. And I think in the next 2 weeks, we're going to really start seeing some amazing PvP battles between all these big guilds. And I can't wait for it.
August?
Right now, all I can think about is killing turkeys. I got 3 farms full of turkeys. I'm ready to go butcher them up and do some leather working. So that's it.
We are heading into fall, aren't we?
Yeah, it's time to celebrate Thanksgiving by killing every turkey in the world.
Chrysamere, final thoughts?
I am level 39, and after Alpha and Omega and Aaron Zeb on Beta, I do not have it in me to go do the quests again. I hope I never set foot in the Paranor ruins ever again. I'm going to level up. I'm going to level up through farming. I'm going to level up through crafting. I'm going to continue to utilize my labor and get high on those vocation tonics. And that's how I'm going to do it. But I do recommend those of you that are going through the game for the first time and hitting 50 for the first time, you should try and do the quests, or at least go through it once to familiarize yourself with the way the world is and where things are, and to get all of the teleport points, because it is a very pretty game and there's a lot to see. I won't forget the first time that I was questing and we first got into Hasla, and we were riding up to, I think it's called Jade Gale in Hasla. No, Gale Garden in Hasla, and I remember the view from there with the rice paddies and thinking, this is one of the prettiest and best designed MMOs that I've ever played. And it's the kind of thing where you take it for granted, like some of you World of Warcraft players that have like level 90s in every single class, and you've done the raiding grind. Use this time right now to really enjoy and love the game, because these are the times that you're going to look back on, when you're high level and you've done all of that stuff.
True.
I guess my final thoughts would be, in line with Chrysamere's. There's no way I could quest grind. I don't multitudes of 50s. I've probably leveled this game every which way possible, and I've actually switched to straight labor and grinding out mobs. Working on drops and seeing how that's panning out, and where's the best place to farm mobs to get Arceum and everything. And yeah, I'm a little slower than I planned on, but I've been there, done that. I actually went out swimming today in the ocean just to enjoy the water because of how amazing it is.
To cool off.
But You know, I just can't say how much I really love the water in this game.
Oh, the ocean's my favorite part in this game, hands
Yeah.
down, without a doubt.
Just everything. You know, I'll like swim down below the surface and look up at the sky and stuff, and you can see the lighting, how it filters through the water. Somebody did a really good job on the water. But that's all for tonight, people. You can check us out at grievancegaming.com, also on Twitter and YouTube, and we'll see you next week.
Take care,
See you
everybody.
guys later.
Later.